can be lonely at the top, especially at the top of a mountain where President Drnovsek spends most of his spare time. But he says he's well suited to the quiet life.
Yeah, I'm quite fine.
Yeah.
I'm all the time occupied with something, and I don't have to. I'm not dependent on having somebody around or people around, so that I would feel that I'm
lonely. Or
that I'm in balance. I think if someone is in balance with himself, then you don't need all the time somebody around. Otherwise, you feel so unhappy and lost, and you don't know what to do with yourself anymore. So I don't. I even don't have TV, but so I still have more time. You are a TV man, so it's not good to say.
No, TV is not always a very useful way to spend your time. But I mean, I suppose I might say.
But there are many people who spend several hours a day looking at TV.
This is
if
true.
I don't do I don't do so, I have a lot of time.
But look, you're a head of state. Shouldn't you be watching the news on Al Jazeera or CNN or BBC and finding out what's happening?
I find out what's happening. If statesmen are dependent on media, news, then
we're in trouble.
What you saw then, yes. Exactly.
So, I don't think you trust journalists very much. I mean,
but I have my computer, I can look at internet,
you can see
also
pictures
for the news.
And so on, of course.
Everything, and of course,
yeah.
Something important is going on, I'm informed about this.
Right.
Yeah. So you see.
You have a fast internet connection up in
Yes.
the mountains here,
Yes.
so that's how you feel connected to the world.
Exactly.
That's very useful. And I know that these are some of your books as well.
Sure, yeah.
Ah yes, the books. The president doesn't spend all his spare time cooking and cleaning. His real passion is writing. The president's books have become bestsellers here in Slovenia and in Croatia as well. This one is called Thoughts on Life. And for every copy that's sold, the president donates €0.50 to a centre for sick children. Other books are called things like Golden Thoughts and The Essence of the World. Now, some of them have already been translated into German, but the good news is that they're coming out in English soon. In fact, the president is working on a translation right now, and that means that a lot more of us all over the world will be able to read about his philosophy of positive thinking.
It's a book that should help the people to overcome their problems, to learn the way to live, to remain healthy, to overcome the problems of the life, to find their balance, their inner peace. So, and it's written in a way that they can understand it.
But not everyone is sure his message is clear.
Beginning, the first books were about traditional politics. So I think the first book was, he was writing about things happening in Yugoslavia and then how it was war here and so on. But the last books are about, good thinking and bad people. So the first books are better than the last one, more interesting. Can we change ourselves? Of course. It's never too late. It's never too late to change. It's always time to think positive and to feel the positive people around you, so on.
So it's kind of self-help, positive thinking kind of stuff. So you're saying he uses a kind of New Age spiritual talk?
Yeah. New Age spiritual talks with a lot of mishmash from different religions, from different spirituality systems and so on.
It's mumbo jumbo.
Mumbo jumbo, I can put it, or do-it-yourself religion.
When you travel around Slovenia and meet ordinary people, do you think people warm to you on the whole, or do you think people think you're a bit strange?
It depends how they are, if they are them strange or not. If they are strange, they would think that I'm strange, or vice versa.
President Drnovsek's popularity ratings are high. We found that most people appreciated his fresh approach.
I like him. He's modest and a good person. I like the fact that he lives in a small house. I'd do the same if I was him.
He has a new style of leading the country. It's more mild. Some like it and some don't, but he likes it. I don't mind his humble existence.
And in any case, it seems that President Drnovsek is unconcerned about his image. All he wants is to get his ideas out to the widest possible audience. And that quest takes him far beyond Slovenia's borders. He travelled all the way to South America for the inauguration of Bolivia's first indigenous Indian president, Evo Morales. Some Slovenians grumbled that this was not an efficient use of taxpayers' money. He's also tried to mediate in some of the most pressing issues of our time, from Darfur to Iran. Again, the critics sneer. Can little Slovenia really make a difference? But the president is undeterred, driven by ethics, a sense of moral duty that Slovenia should be trying to help less fortunate parts of the world.
I'm not very much concerned about critics. I know that they are part of these present patterns and the way of thinking which will not last long, hopefully. But I think there are so many problems in the world that should be addressed differently. And if someone has an idea or thinks that he could do something, I think it's his moral obligation to try to do something. That's why, for example, I interfered in Darfur issue and tried to edit something to the international efforts to resolve the problem, because it's a real tragedy there. And then people would say, okay, is it okay that he does so or not? Shouldn't it be rather at home and doing nothing? I don't think that their position would stand some, let's say, moral scrutiny.
Was it realistic that a small country in Central Europe could help solve that problem?
If the big countries didn't do it, then you have no choice. Is it realistic to expect that the big countries will do it? I don't think so, as experience shows. They are not capable of overcoming their egoistic or selfish interests in dealing with this kind of situations. So this is not realistic, that they would resolve the problem. My approach is that we have to raise the consciousness of the people, and so they see there is something very wrong going on. And we as a humanity, as people, we cannot just look at it and do nothing.
And you will try and get involved in the Iran nuclear crisis?
Yes, I try to do my best there too, because I'm worried about the situation. If there is another war, this will be a major crisis, not only for the region, not only for the Middle East, but for the world as a whole. So I think we should avoid it, that everybody should do what is possible to avoid it.
President Drnovsek is stepping down at the end of the year. Slovenians will be saying goodbye to one man who was not afraid to stand alone. In a world of grey politicians, a man who was not afraid to dream and speak his mind. He's running out of time to change the world, but when he's gone, he'll be missed.